Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about my top 5 tips for surviving nursing school. So my first tip is to keep a calendar, and it may seem simple, but you have to keep a calendar and keep it up to date. It stops assignments from sneaking up on you, it lowers your anxiety, and it helps you plan your time efficiently so you don't get drowned. Nursing school comes in waves, and you don't want to get caught out being drowned by not having enough time to complete all your assignments in the one busy week where they all have to be due on the same week. My second tip for doing well in nursing school and surviving until the end is to sleep. And that's easier said than done. Sometimes you're going to have a million assignments and you will have to do an all-nighter. But it doesn't have to be every week. It doesn't have to be every day. And one of the tips I can give you for getting enough sleep is the fact that you don't have to go out every night. I mean, there will be people in your program that they do go out every night and they do pull through, some more successful than others. But you have to know yourself and you have to know how your own body feels, because everybody needs a different amount of sleep. Know how much you need and act accordingly. Tip number 3 that I can give you is to learn how to prioritize. Now, this is something that you don't really do in high school. High school, you have time to do every single thing the teacher gives you. It's not a matter of learning how to prioritize. It's just learning how to time manage. In university or college, when you're doing your nursing program, it's a lot different because you're not going to have time to do everything. You're not going to have the time to do every single reading. You have to prioritize, what reading do I have to do? What reading should I do, and what readings can I go without? You also have to prioritize, what can I skip? Like, what am I going to be okay with not doing? What classes do I have to show up to? Or if I have something else due, am I going to be able to skip this class, get this done, and be able to, in other words, get the highest mark for your time that you've put in? You have to be able to see what classes count more in your situation and what assignments are worth. Assignments are not worth the same. There are assignments that you're going to do that are worth 1, 2, 5%, and there are assignments that are going to go sometimes more than 50%. So you're going to have to prioritize where you're going to put your time. You're not going to put 3 hours into an assignment that's worth 1% when you have a paper that's worth 50% due tomorrow. 2 of those hours are going to be much better put off either editing this paper or doing something with this paper to get even a couple percent higher on this paper. It's going to make a huge difference compared to that one assignment where, honestly, if it's worth 1 or 2%, there are times where you can say, I don't need to do this. I can skip this. And that's kind of where university differs from high school education. My fourth tip for you is to do well in clinical. And when I say do well, I'm saying put 100% effort in clinical. It's something that, oftentimes clinicals are pass-fail, so you're not going to be able to see you're not going to get the instant gratification you do when you nail a paper and get 95% on a paper. You're not going to be like, wow, I did really well. What doing well in clinical is going to do is it's going to help you in the long run. It's going to set you up very well for post-education life. You're going to have quality references, and you're going to be able to do what I did when I finished school. I finished school, called up my manager where I had my last placement, and asked for a job, and she's like, you bet. Because I put 110% into that clinical, and it paid off in a job at the end. I didn't really have to go applying around. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to talk to the manager and say, listen, I passed my NCLEX. I'm ready to go. This is where I stand. And if you want to watch another video where I talk about tips for success in clinical, I'm going to link that in the description below or put a card up in the top right. My last tip for surviving nursing school is potentially what could be the most important tip, but it's something that a lot of people don't understand until it's too late. A very important skill to have in university or college is to learn the marking style of each different professor or instructor and give them exactly what they want. Every professor is different, and every professor marks a completely different way. Learn what they want, ask them what they want, email them, talk to them in their office hours. They will tell you what they want, and then you just have to give them exactly that. Even if you think your way is better, don't listen to yourself. Do what the prof wants. They're the ones marking your papers at the end of the day. There's no need to reinvent the wheel in situations like this. I had profs where all they wanted was if you hit every single objective on the outline, then you got, close to 100%. And that's all they wanted. There was other profs where you would have a rubric, and then it was more like a qualitative evaluation where, oh, you did have everything, but it could have been better, or it was pretty good, and then they would mark you kind of on that. But like I said, there are profs where if you give them exactly what they want, even if you don't like it, give them exactly what they want, you are going to do fine. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Ask them what they want and give them exactly that. So that concludes my 5 tips for surviving nursing school. If you liked it, give me the thumbs up. If you want to see more content, please subscribe. And if you have any other recommendations for future videos, just comment below. I reply to pretty much every comment, so I'm sure I'll get back to you.